I just turned 25. I've moved around a lot as a kid, man. I'd lived in Ohio. I live in Indiana right now. I lived in
Okay.
Kentucky. It's kind of like the tri-state area. But dude, we've grown up as a kid. I had never stayed in a home more than a year. You know what I mean? It's just moving school to school, district after district.
Same.
It was just a lot different living when I was growing up, and it was just difficult. And I felt like what's normal to most people is to have like a mom, dad in a home, and they're just stable in one place. You know what I mean? I felt like moving around so much just felt normal to me, and I didn't know what normal was. You know what I mean? So
I mean, maybe that was your normal. Who really determines what normal is, you know?
exactly,
Facts.
yeah. That's why I say all the time. I feel like I feel like people in like different countries and stuff, as in like the UK or like Europe or something. You know what I mean? I feel like they look at us like we have an accent. You know?
All right.
I don't know. It's kind of weird. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I didn't like I guess like in rapping and stuff, I got into a lot of we was always raised on country music, rock and roll, some jazz here and there, um, hip hop. But I got into hip hop by myself. Like I discovered it on my own. I think it was from my brother because he had all kinds of cassettes and he also had like the CD. You know what I mean? I think that's like
Yeah.
ain't that like the Sony brand with like the
The
CD Walkman?
yeah.
Oh yeah, the old Sony Walkman, Jip.
Yeah, yeah. So my brother had that when I was like 4 or 5. He probably had it beforehand, but he had the CD of the Marshall Mathers LP. He had that on CD, and I was like,
Hell yeah.
yeah. So I had to steal it from a stash and listen to it. And as soon as I listened to it, I was like, oh yeah, I love this. So throughout grade school and whatnot, I guess for me to get the form of writing down is where it really clicked of like me starting to do music. I would rewrite the lyrics to a bunch of Eminem songs, a bunch of NWA songs, just all that, like Nappy Roots. And I would just get in trouble in class. Like I'd write everything down. Like that's very. My mom's listened to a lot of Kid Rock, and that's where the rock and roll came from. And then we got down to like my brother listened to some like Slipknot. Um, there's some other like underground like heavy metal stuff too that I listen to. I just can't remember the names of them. I'll let you know one of these days. But that's pretty much like the past, dude. I mean, I didn't really grow up too crazy. We wasn't like the wealthiest people, and we wasn't like the poorest. But we did struggle a lot, But what's to us struggling to somebody else struggling? You know what I mean? Like everybody struggles. It
Right.
don't matter. Don't
Right.
matter you're wealthy or not. Everybody struggles, but yeah,
Well, shit, man.
that's
How
pretty much it.
how'd you get into country rap?
So I've always been a fan of like country rap, but I didn't know it was this big until I got in it. You know what I mean? I thought from an outside perspective, I thought once you got into like this subgenre, I guess what people call it with the country rap stuff, I thought everybody was cool with everybody until you really dig in it, and then it's like, holy shit, like that's yeah. But no, I got in it from just first listening to church. I was from Ryan. I was just scrolling YouTube one day and I heard the Hillbilly song, and I was like, "Oh, this is fucking cool." You know what I mean? Like I like country music and I like rap music, and this country motherfucker is rapping his ass off.
Right.
So it's like,
Hell
what
yeah.
the fuck? So that was super cool, and it felt like to me I can be who I want to be. You know what I mean? Instead of just
Yeah.
being an image. Because you know how like rappers come up, they like get their image or whatever, and
Right.
you can tell. But this is truly me. It's just I can be hood as hell, and I can also be country as fuck. You know what I mean? I feel like that's the good combination of country rap to me.
Yeah, I feel like church kind of empowered a lot of people with that because you know what I mean that was one
Mhm.
thing when I started writing music and I knew that music was my path early on, but I didn't know what direction to take it. And I always felt like you know I grew up on a farm and shit. I'm too much of a redneck to rap. I can't be a rapper. Like
Yeah.
that was like in my head. And then church was the one that came out and kicked that fucking door down. And I was like, look at this motherfucker over here.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Maybe I can be a rapper. Like hell yeah.
No, that's another thing too. Like, or living in Kentucky and stuff. Like, we wasn't supposed to, but for me and my cousin, we were like 10, 12 years old. You know what I mean? For us to make money, we'd go to these tobacco farms and we would literally pick tobacco and shit. You know what I mean? Like, that was our way of making some money. We'd make like $20 a day, and to us, that was like $500. You know?